would like to request all the attendees to kindly switch on your webcam. Pratham, Prabhavati, please. Omkar, if you could just rearrange your webcam on. And this is annual general pleasure. I would like to request all the attendees to kindly switch on your webcams. Mr. Shubhendu Das, Omkar Jamadar, Uzuma Francisca Madhu. Welcome back, everyone. I'm P. Shravan Kumar, the founder of SK Associates and Group, and it's been a pleasure to be your host for Conference 2.1 till today. Today, moving forward, we'll be discussing the emerging role of product development for market penetration in the startup ecosystem.
Hello everyone, I'm Mansi Singh, the Chief Strategic Alliance Advisor at SK Associates and Group, and I'm excited to co-host this conference with Shravan on the topic, the emerging role of product development for market penetration in the startup ecosystem. We kindly request all the speakers and attendees to switch on their webcams and keep them on throughout the conference.
Without further add-ons, let's proceed to introduce our esteemed guests for the second session, third session of Conference 2.1. Let me start by introducing our first guest for today. We have Dr. Didem Demir, a highly accomplished individual who has made significant contributions in the field of tourism, business, and education. Dr. Demir holds a master's degree in business economics and a doctorate in marketing. Her passion for teaching led her to complete English language teaching, pedagogical formation education, and has since then taught at various universities, including ESEIG University of Porto, within the scope of Erasmus Teaching Mobility. Dr. Dermot has also gained extensive experience in sales, organization, and foreign relations throughout her career. Her expertise in consumer behavior, digital marketing, consumer psychology, and logistics has led to numerous national and international scientific studies. Currently, she is lecturing at the Faculty of Business and Administrative Sciences at Istanbul Okan University.
Introducing our next guest, Ms. Prachi Goel, who is currently working as a business analyst in the product analytics wing of Swiggy Bangalore. With a vast experience in the field of product analytics, she has previously worked as senior product analyst at Global Logic in Noida. Ms. Goel is a highly skilled professional with a BTech degree in the Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. She possesses extensive knowledge of analytic tools such as SQL, Python, Tableau, data visualization, Power BI, and others, making her a valuable asset to any team.
Next, we have Mr. Dhaval Chopra, a professional with a unique combination of a mechanical engineering and MBA background, who has found his calling in product management. With 8 years of experience, Mr. Chopra has 4 years spent as a product manager. His powerful passion for design thinking and improving customer experiences have obviously driven him to identify and implement opportunities for product and process improvement. Hailing from Pune, he is an enthusiastic sportsman who enjoys football, cricket, badminton, and tabletop. He is also an avid reader, constantly seeking to broaden his knowledge and perspectives.
Our next speaker of the day is Mr. Vineet Shah. He's a passionate and dedicated individual with a keen interest in creating problem solving and stakeholder management. His experience includes an APM fellowship cohort with Next Leap, a couple of months with Biz Development, and a PM fellowship at Doraemon 10. He has also worked as a product manager at Niblick, and he's currently a part of the product folks team. His experience has taught him to be a strategic thinker, a problem solver, and an effective communicator, making him an ideal candidate for any product management role.
We also have Ms. Evangeline Nidukmi with us. She is a multifaceted professional with extensive experience in product and project management, entrepreneurship, biology, writing, and public speaking. She has worked with numerous tech startups across various industries such as real estate, fintech, blockchain, sports, health, and e-commerce, managing various products and projects from the inception to the successful launch and growth in the market. Evangeline's passion for creativity and innovation, as well as her strategic thinking and problem solving skills, inspired her to pursue a career in product management. She overcame several challenges from an early age and worked her way up from being a young teenage girl to becoming a senior product manager at a leading startup tech company in Nigeria. In addition to her professional achievement, Evangeline has also mentored many young individuals, both in product management and in the areas of leadership, personal development, and entrepreneurship.
Our next guest is Mr. Ankush Sherin, who holds a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from PGIMS, a master's degree in pharmacy from Jamia Hamdard, and an MBA from NMIMS. Currently, he serves as an assistant manager of business development at Xeon Life Sciences, which is a leading contract manufacturer specializing in Ayush products and nutraceuticals.
Moving on, we would like to request all the guests and the attendees to kindly switch on your respective webcam throughout the conference. We'd also like to inform you that the HR team is conducting calls in the chat box throughout the session. To actively participate in the same by giving your opinions on the call. Now, we would like to invite Dr. Diadem Demel to share her insights. I hope I'm audible, Diadem. Do try to unmute yourself once. Am I audible, Anjali?
Yes, you're audible.
Dr. Diadem, am I audible? If you can just
If you're
unmute
facing an
yourself
issue,
and
please. Yeah, if you're
yeah,
facing an issue, you can uh,
you can
write
begin your
it in the
speech,
chat
Dr.
box.
Demel.
Hello?
Yeah. Good
Can you
evening,
hear?
Dr. Demel. Yeah, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear?
you out.
Oh, okay, because I couldn't hear you for a while. Greetings from Istanbul, Turkey. Hope everyone is okay. I'm a doctor of marketing and I'm working at Istanbul Okan University. And I would like to share my presentation with you. And I do my presentation from another point of view. So I hope it would be useful, beneficial for you. But let me find it. Let me find it for a while.
The fifth icon from the left.
Can you see my presentation?
Not
Hello?
as of now, Dr. Demo. Not yet.
Not?
Not yet.
Why?
If you can just click on the fifth icon from the left of your, like from the left hand side, it has a rectangular,
Yes.
yeah, rectangle with upper header cursor. Just click on it, choose the option present now, and you may share your screen.
I don't know. I cannot manage it.
Okay, no issues. You can just deliver a speech as
I
normal.
can. Is it possible that I can send it to you so that you will do that? I don't know how you cannot see it.
No issues. You can just like deliver a normal speech without sharing your screen. Even that would do.
Okay, normal speech. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can clearly hear you.
So then, I will just speak with you about the about my presentation. You know that today there are many individuals, organizations, and supporters operating in the startup ecosystem. And the main purpose of almost all of them is to be successful in the process and to attract customers with new products. But before we talk about product development, uh, from my point of view, we need to understand why people have needed different and new products for centuries. First of all, we need to know that people do not buy the products, they buy the value of the products that they offer. So the consumers with a product or service for an effective positioning is really very important to determine the connections between the values. And people have many perceptions of value and actually buy the products or services based on these values that are found in human being. And according to the plant behavior theory, people's attitudes affect their intentions and their behavior. And the behavior of choosing the products or services also occurs depending on some values by the nature of people. And these values are included in the literature as functional value, conditional value, emotional value, and social value. And we use functional value for consumers that people buy products that just because they are based on reliability, quality, durability, or the price of the product. But when it comes to conditional value, it varies according to the conditions that the customers are in at that moment. And it refers to the perceived value of a good or service that is consumed due to a situation or a condition. For example, organic food consumption during pregnancy. And according to the attachment theory, consumers tend to be emotionally attached to the products and brands. Emotional value is the perceived emotional benefit of individuals that arouses emotions through the use of goods or services. And the goods or services are often associated with emotional responses. Consumers who give importance to have strong social relationships with others and the appreciation and praise of the people in their social circles are important in their consumption. Such consumers believe that they will have feelings of prestige, respect, and admiration depending on the products that they use. And the epistemic value, on the other hand, refers to the fact that people buy just because of curiosity, their need of innovation, or just because they want to acquire knowledge. And in fact, while developing a product, it is necessary to start from here, considering these psychological factors, that is, the psychology of consumers, which value perceptions we want to awaken. And another important point is that before product development, it is necessary to determine the gaps that exist in line with the wishes and I mean that with the wants and needs of the consumers, and to produce the product by positioning it according to the gaps needed. Positioning, on the other hand, is one of the most important issues to be done based on the various value perceptions that exist in customers. And I believe that this issue, which is approached from a different perspective regarding the fact that the background of product development should be completely consumer psychology and is especially important for startups. And thank you very much for listening to me.
That was a great speech, Dr. Dharma. I had a question for you out here. As you said that consumer psychology is quite important in like developing a product. Can you please explain it in detail?
Okay, did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I did. I hope I'm audible, Dr. Dharma.
Yes, but can you repeat it again, please?
My question was, since you said that consumer psychology is quite important for developing a product, could you please elaborate it?
Yes, of course. You know that while we are thinking about consumers, we cannot separate them from their psychology, because you know that we all of us are consumers in the world. Okay, all of us are not the customers, but all of us are consumers. The baby is also a consumer. Okay, so the population of the world uh, equals to the consumers of the world. So you should consider their psychology, and you should consider that we even don't buy anything. We don't buy the products. We only buy the benefits that will arise us to buy that product. And I was just trying to approach this startups, because you know that development of production is really very important for startups. But before talking about this, we have to consider that our target customer, and what they are, what their needs and what wants are demand on. Okay, I mean the age of the customers, the for example, the income of the customers, and etc. Okay, so I just want to tell you this about the consumers. Yes, that's it.
That's great. Now I would like to move further and invite all the attendees to put forth your questions, if any. Yeah, Rafik, you can begin with me.
Ma'am, I had a question. Like, how can we enrich our knowledge on consumer psychology and understanding consumer intent before, like, during or before building our product, MVP?
And you can make market research, of course.
Yes.
Marketing research is really very important. And before beginning to do something, you have to just make interviews, deep interviews with the customers in that area. to
Okay.
understand what they are in need for.
Yes, ma'am. Like usually in interviews, there's a sense that the consumers, what there's a difference between what they say and what they feel. Like how can we actually differentiate and learn upon that? Like because a customer might say that they want this, but they might feel otherwise.
Yes, a very good question. Sometimes they say something different that they feel, okay, or they might think. But maybe we can make some, for example, some thing that may think them. For example, we can make some. How can I say it? For example, in the supermarkets, we just make experimental marketing, okay? For example, we just offer them something to taste, okay? We can understand about their from their gestures or from their way of talking like this. I mean that we can make, how can I say it, some tricks to understand them better.
Hmm. Thank, thank you.
That was a great response, madam. Any other question? Anyone, any questions? You can simply unmute yourself. Put the questions forward. Mr. Dixit, I think you had a question. Dilip Dixit, you can just unmute yourself and put the question forward. Yeah. No questions then? Didan, a last question from my side. Do you have any message for young aspiring entrepreneurs who are present in this conference and are watching you and obviously must be thinking of how to design the product to penetrate the markets and gain a high profit for their respective startups and the respective missions, obviously?
I don't understand what
Yeah.
you are talking about.
My
Uh,
question was, do you
yeah.
have a message, an inspirational message or a summary message you would like to give all entrepreneurs who are watching us live on YouTube and are yet attending this conference too?
No, I didn't get any questions.
All right. Am I audible clearly, Dadan? Am I audible, Anjali?
Yes, you're audible. I think there's some network issue. That's the reason you're not
No issue.
audible clearly. Yeah.
I'll just type out my question, Dadan.
Is it over? I don't understand.
If you do have a summary and a final message for all our participants who are sitting here,
I don't really understand what you are talking about. Can you write it, please? Because
yeah, obviously,
yeah,
sure. One
here is someone who is asking me a question, thinking about design. Okay, Roma Kumari. Is it a question from you?
that's actually a poll, Dadan. The question is in the chat box.
Do you have any message for all aspiring CEOs? Um, um, to CEOs, yes, I have also. I can only tell them that they should understand the psychology of the customers before doing something, because it's really very important. But of course, we cannot tell everything here in this limited time. But it is very important to understand the value. I mean that the functional value or emotional value or epistemic value or social value that the human being carries out in their insight. So you shouldn't do something. I'm just telling it to the CEOs. You shouldn't do something without considering these values. Okay, so I just want to advise them to consider these values, to talk with your customers, to try to understand their psychological factors for the things that you are going to produce, and then just be in this engineering part. Okay.
Anjali, if you can just carry on from here.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Dr. Daidan, for the beautiful speech. I request you to please share your mail in the comment box for any queries our attendees might have. Moving ahead, we would like to invite Ms. Prachi Goel to commence her speech.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible clearly? Okay. So, for the Indians, every one of you is aware of Swiggy, I guess, the food delivery app. Okay. For the people outside the country, let me give you the context of the app in which I'm working. I'm working as a business analyst in a food delivery app. So, what I was looking at initially, I was looking at the cart page initially, but now I am looking the delivery executive app. By delivery executive, I mean the people who are coming at a doorstep to deliver the food. So I hope this is clear about the background and which product I have been working in that app. So basically there were two products which I have worked upon: the cart page of the consumer app and the delivery executive app. So I hope the difference is clear in both of them. If it's still not clear, please let me know, because the further things are based upon this. The product development is based upon this. Got it. So let's move further. Okay. So before even into getting the wider picture of startup, what is considered as a product? I mean, what do you consider a product? Anything, anything that adds value to your life, correct? So now the definition of product can vary from level to level, like a different feature being launched in an app is also called a product. But at an Uber level, the product is something that solves a problem and enters into the market. Now, when it enters into the market, it grabs the attention of the customers. Now, if this product is innovative enough to disrupt the market, we generally refer to it as startup. What this Zomato, Swiggy, the artificial intelligence startups, what all these things are doing? They're basically disrupting the market. They are entering the market and the consumer's life. So, at a very basic level, these three terms, the product, market, and the startup, all these three terms are correlated. A product enters the market, and if it's innovative enough to lucrate the consumer, we refer to it as a startup. Okay. So, any questions till now? Like, how do we define a product, market, startup? Any confusion regarding these terms? Okay. I'll take silence as a compliance. Okay, so the next question which haunts the youth's mind is, like, once the product is developed, just a second. Yeah. So now the question is, once the product is developed, is it fit to enter the market? So here comes the role of product development. Product development involves a number of steps. It's kind of a ladder to develop a product and then launching it into the market. Product development is not a one day process, but it takes months and years to build a product, even to improve the product. It's a continuous process which involves multiple steps, teamwork, and the most important thing, a lot of brainstorming. Brainstorming, I would say, is the keyword in product development. And this brainstorming is not just for the product manager or one person. It's the brainstorming of the multiple teams: the product manager, the engineer, the analytics, the testers. I mean, everyone is involved in this brainstorming. So, any questions so far? Like the people who are involved in product development, is it clear? Got it. So the next step, okay. So now let's enter into the most important phase of the product development, like how a product is developed, what are its steps, what all teams are involved, and how do we develop a product. So I'll take you through all the steps through my experience, like what I have been learning on in these last 4 years, and how I have developed product along with the product managers, the engineers, everyone. Okay. So what should be the first step according to you? Like like what should be the first step for a product manager, or even as an engineer to think? Okay, I'll give that answer. Whenever you try to solve a problem, first identify that whether it's even a problem or not. Okay. So now how do you find whether we should solve this problem or not? Most basic solution to it will be the quantification of the problem. Like for example, in the previous speech also we heard, like she referred to kind of market research.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? Okay, no questions. So what my opinion is, like before even trying to solve a problem, first identify like what is the problem, and how you can identify it by quantifying it. Like for example, as a Swiggy app, we generally do a market research. We identify the potential customer segment that is eligible for this. For example, in tier 2 cities like the city in which I am living, Mathura, whether Swiggy should be launched or not, what could be our potential customers, what orders per day can we get from a particular city, identify the data for that by taking into consideration the similar cities, and identify whether what gain can you get. If that gain is up to your expectation, move forward, else don't consider that to be a problem. Okay, so now let's move to the second step. The second step is, should we even solve this problem? What kind of benefit will we get if we solve this problem? Now you have identified the customer segment to whom you should launch this product. Now you should identify the price attributed to it. Like what will be the gain to the company if you launch this product? So after quantifying the problem, try to quantify the size of the benefit from the problem. This step in product development is generally identified as the sizing of the product, size of price of the product. Like what is the price attributed to this product? This is known as sizing of the price of product. Okay. Now, as a product manager or as an entrepreneur, sometimes generally you must be proposing a multiple solutions to one single problem. Correct. But it might be the case that you might not have the perfect solution to any problem. So, a good product manager is never stuck on one particular solution. She will propose multiple solutions, choose the best out of it. Now, it might not be the best, it might be best for you, but it might not look best to the other teams in a company. So, the next step would be brainstorm all possible solutions with the team. What is the best solution? Oh, one single person can never decide like what will be the best solution. Only a team can decide what can be the best solution for the problem. Discuss now. This is the brainstorming step which I was talking initially. Discuss the pros and cons of each solution and align with the team, especially the engineering team, to discuss the tech feasibility. Sometimes it's like product managers say build this, build that, but that is way out of league for the engineering team. So that's to build unscalable solutions is not favored by engineering team. So brainstorming with engineering team is very, very important. Now, uh, now what would be the next steps? Okay, you have brainstormed all the solutions. So, but how will you measure the success or the failure of the after the engineering team have built it? Now here comes the role of the metrics. I hope you people are aware of the term metrics. Metrics are the indicators that actually tell, like, for example, the traffic of the app. It's one of a metric that we generally measures. Like, for example, if 15 lakh orders of Swiggy records 15 lakh orders per day, so it's kind of one metric. Now, what percentage of uh, what percentage of people are traveling from cart page to payment page? We refer to as C2P, that is cart to payment. For example, 66% people are traveling from cart page to payment page. We are referring to it as C2P. Now, if this declines due to our feature, we know that something has broken because of our feature. If if C2P increases, we may think we'll do an RCA to understand that this increment was because of our feature. So defining metrics is very very important for your feature. Like, a product person never works without numbers. Find out the best possible solution or possible metrics that could be helpful to measure the success or failure of the product. Take the help of your analytics team to build the dashboards, report metrics to understand the numbers. Because without numbers, you won't be able to understand like in which direction your product is going. Now, after identifying the metrics, side by side the building of the product has begun with the engineering team. So, as a product manager, it's your sole responsibility to identify blockers from each team. You must know like which team is facing which issues. For example, there might be some bandwidth issues with engineering team. There might be some excess issue with the analytics team. So it's the sole responsibility of a product manager to identify such issues and resolve them. So try to resolve them as soon as possible. Resolve the dependencies, bandwidth, and prioritization problems first. By prioritization, I mean like which task has to be picked up first. Like, for example, I told you to build dashboards. Like, what are the first 4 or 5 metrics that are to be visible in the dashboard? So these are the basic things that a product manager should know, that a team should not face these things. Now, okay. Now we have defined the metrics, and also the engineering has begun. Engineering is working on the product. But now what if the product is launched suddenly to the 100% of the population? It's more likely to break. Even if it does not break, you'll not be able to attribute the increment. You'll not be able to attribute the increment to your feature. For this, what generally we as a company do, we set up a A/B experiment. I hope you all are aware of the A/B experiments. Like, we distribute the population into 50-50%. For example, if 20 million people are landing on the cart page of Swiggy, and we're distributing them into 10 lakh, 10 lakhs, 10 lakh people will see the older version of the product, and 10 lakh people will see the newer version of the product that we have launched just now. For example, the newer version people sees a increment in C2P. You will understand that the increment in C2P is because of your feature. So this experimenting is very very important when you need to attribute the increment to your feature. By attribution, I mean that this increment is because of my product which I have launched. So it's important to understand it. It's important to differentiate. For example, other product manager might have released his feature also. So to differentiate between because of which feature which metric increased and by how much, experimentation is very very important. Now, after setting up the experiment, measure the metrics for few days. So in the step 5, I told you to define the metrics. Now, after setting up the experiment, it's the right time to measure the metrics now. Now, keep on measuring the metrics for few days until you reach the confidence that I'll not go into the p value or the confidence level, the technical terms of the statistics now, but I'll make sure that you understand that you need to run the experiment until you reach the high confidence that the improvement is because of your feature. Now, if you see the improvement, that is, if the results are encouraging, roll out the feature to the entire population. And if not, then rerun the XP with a new hypothesis. Like, for example, if I launched out a feature and some and my C2P decreased. By C2P, I mean card to payment decreased. I might need to revisit the experiment. Like, what did happen? I need to do an RCA. Like, what happened with those customers who saw a new, who saw the new version of the product. So now this reiteration has to be done. Like, why did it decrease? We need to brainstorm all the solutions again. We need to define metrics again. We need to set up the experiment again, and then again we need to measure the metrics. So it's kind of I would say it's kind of a circle which needs to be followed for launching a product. Now the story doesn't end here. These steps might look easy, or I would say superficial in terms of listening, but these steps require actually enormous amount of time and effort to be executed smoothly. After all these steps have been completed, we need to measure the impact for entire population, and then we report it to stakeholders. Now, as I told you that we initially did an experiment for 10 lakh people, but now uh, after seeing the results, we want to launch it to all the 20 lakh people. Correct. Now, after launching it to all the 20 lakh people, we need to again measure for few months, like the metrics are increasing. Now, if the metrics are increasing, you'll have a different questions from the stakeholders. By stakeholders, I mean the leadership, the management. They'll reach out to you and ask you, is this because of your product? Is this because of your feature that this metric has increased? So that you have to measure constantly. It's not like once you have launched the product and you are done with it. No, it's never like that. Once you have launched the product, you have to measure it constantly to see the impact on the consumers. So these are some basic steps which all the startup ecosystems, at least in India, extensively follow almost every step to roll out a feature and enter the market gradually. One constant work that is done by product people is constant conversation with customers to understand their pain points and how to improve the product continuously. Like in initial convo also, Pratham asked like what should be the steps to understand the market. So I would say like the best step is to connect more and more with people, like connect more and more with consumers for your product, and you will be able now note them in your Excel, make an Excel, put on some questions and generalize them. Like for example, if you have like what
I'm sorry for the interruption, Ms. Goyal. If you could just wrap it up a bit
yeah,
sooner.
yeah, just 1 minute. So in a nutshell, it's basically important to understand the consumers and then build your product. So I don't think that time will permit more, but I would like to share some Swiggy's product, but it's okay. The time is not permitting this, so it's fine. Any questions regarding this?
Any participants? You have any questions? You can simply unmute yourself. Rahul, no questions this time?
Sir, it was
Yeah,
greatly explained.
that's
Okay,
awesome.
Narinder.
Yes.
So what is A/B testing is? Okay, so I'll not go into the technical details of stats, but A/B testing is basically like distributing the population. I'll take our example. For example, we are 39 people here. Okay, so we'll distribute them into two equal parts, and one part would see. And for example, you want to launch a new feature and check whether whether the population seeing the new version of the product is seeing increment in metrics or not. I mean, is there any improvement in traffic or anything to the population who is seeing the new version? So one population will see the older version of product and other population will see the newer version of the product, and you'll measure the traffic in each of the population. Like for us 38 people, when distributed in equal parts, we'll see like what is the traffic for the first part and what is the traffic for the second part. Now if you see that the traffic is if the traffic is more in the second part, that is people with the newer version of product, you can say that the improvement is because of your product. So this is A/B testing. It requires some statistical studies like p-value, confidence level. You need to calculate the sample size according to the improvement. So I'll not go into those technical details. It will take a lot of time. I mean, a whole session can be conducted with that. So I'll not go into that. But it's at an Uber level. It's just you'll just see the improvement is because of your product or not. That's why A/B experiments are conducted in product-based companies. Any other questions?
Any other questions for the Dipali Pala? No questions about that? I guess that's it. We would like to thank Ms. Prachi Goyal for her amazing speech. And Prachi, it was really quite informative and elaborate. Now, I would also like to request you to kindly share your email in the chat box for any queries our attendees might have. For the moving ahead, we would like to invite Mr. Vinish Shah to share his perspective.
Hey there, hi everyone. How are you doing? Great. Cool. I will share my presentation as in I don't have a good internet connection. So I will just not show my video for the part. Cool. Thanks. Let's begin. Cool. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Cool. So yes, let's start with, I won't take much more of time now. Product development, the key to unlocking startup success. These are the patterns how we will go ahead in the slides. There would be a slight and small introduction to it, and then how we'll grow about importance of the product development, and then increasing importance in the startup section, and methodology, how product development happens. Introduction. It's a long form written, but we'll just conclude in short. As in, startups are rapidly growing nowadays. There are a lot many startups, and for the users, that requires constant innovation and adaptation to the market. Market is also evolving, and so are the users with their needs. Hence, product development is required. We'll go to the next one. Okay. The importance of product development in startups and why it happened. Okay. Product development happens because there's creation and refinement as it needs customer. Okay. Understanding the pain point of the users and how we build it up. Okay. From product development, we got to know that penetration to long-term growth. Okay. By continuous development, it will lead to building a loyal customer base over the industry. Yeah. Cool. The growing role in startups. Changing market conditions and also meeting the evolving customer needs. And hence, there's continuous product development required. It also requires collaboration across all departments, aligning with the business objective. Methodology and how this thing happens. The last speaker addressed it very clearly and in detail. Yeah, it was a great thing. Okay. But addressing customer pain point and minimizing the risk of failure is the main motive behind the methodology of product development. Yeah. Cool. Moving down to the case study, that we have two. As in, one is for a grocery app. You can write down that in comments that which grocery app am I discussing, or it is on a general base. And the second is on a product which we use it. Okay. On day-to-day life. Cool. First for the grocery app, which is on the mobile device. Okay. Where this thing, the people who tried to build this app tried first customer validation and testing. And then the pain point which they got to know and solved upon was personalized recommendation based on customer preference. People were not getting that, and hence that led them to increasing user engagement and retention of the application. Yeah. The next is the wearable market, which is a physical product. Okay. There, the pain point was tracking fitness and sleep patterns. Okay. People were not able to track that accurately. So they solved that with having a sleek and comfortable design that led them into increasing and positive customer feedback using that. Concluding with a small thing, okay, innovative solution meeting the needs of customer, hence product development. Product development basically having a short file is things. First is market research. Second is customer validation. Third is prototyping the thing. Fourth is testing. And fifth is iteration making for market penetration and sustainable growth. Yeah, cool. This was part of the presentation. Well, I will just show you a Fempe product deck which I built on how we break down the product problem statement and building a product. I hope that would be helpful to you. Cool. There's an overview around what Fempe is and who developed it, who are its competitors, to get into detail. Then moving down to problem statement, okay, what are we solving and why are we solving? Okay, what categories we are solving it for? How to break down the problem statement? Here the problem statement is, okay, we have to devise a product strategy about getting children using Fempe application. Okay, from normal, basically making children realize their responsibilities growing up. Yeah, the target market is in India. Cool. Moving to the next slide. So, problem statement has the next part as a user personas. Ki who are we solving it for? Okay, what do they think? How do they work? Is the app comfortable with them? As in, for example, in the last slide we saw ki for the wearable device, they tried making the device sleek and comfortable design. Okay, yeah. For the user persona, we try to understand who users are and what do they behave like. Next comes key, what are the problems in this problem statement? For the above one, key, if we solve this problem, what will the questions arise in the children's mind whom we are solving it for? And what are the impact pain points that we are solving for? One of this is why spend on these bills? Okay, children may think, why should I spend on these bills? Normal children don't do planning. Okay. And sometimes it happens ki parents have a question, ki where did all the money go? Okay. Children do have desire ki how do I earn money and also fulfill my goals? Okay. They would have some queries to be solved. And what if they deposit into Fempe? Will that be safe or secure? Moving down to how solution would be look like. Okay. So one solution that I think of why people should how can we train children to be responsible around the expenses is introducing a credit score. As we adults have paying back loans, even we can introduce that to children. As in, if we develop a credit score for them, they are paying timely bills. Okay. The higher the credit score, the better the rewards they can unlock. This is one of the solutions that we think of. Second is gamified community where people can engage and learn from each other. Third is expense planner, as one of the pain point was where did all my money go? Okay, if we plan the month before the money comes, then there is a higher priority that we won't spend irregularly. Okay, the fourth solution was key opportunities zone where where children said what if I want to earn and achieve my goals? Okay, so there would be opportunities for that. Cool. Then there comes prioritization around how we can prioritize the last four solutions, understanding the user persona and the business objective to be fulfilled. Credit score hits the list as it solves many problems understanding user personas. How would the credit score screen look like? As in, what if we click on a credit score thing and what will happen next? There would be tips, positive expenses. What would be under that thing? What would be under that thing? Layer over layer. How would the user flow look like? Cool. And there comes the metrics. How would it track that we achieve success by introducing this solution? Okay, active usage, as in that is our focus metric. People should use campaign. Then there are there are 2 levels and 4 parts in first level. How would that reach to our customers? How would we feel that people have started using it? How are people engaged in it? And how would you think that people are coming back to our app for that reason? Level 2 specifies more on level 1 in detail. Yeah, cool. And that was it. Thank you so much.
That was a great speech, Vinny, and obviously a great explanation throughout that, including your product pitch. That was quite informative for all our attendees, I strongly believe. Again, moving ahead, I have some questions, Vinny. If you could
Yeah,
just
sure.
explain the business model of the company whose product pitch you just presented, and the industry, obviously, in which it's dealing with.
Cool. Uh, FamPay comes under fintech, which is targeting a user segment are in 16 to around 20, which have not got a PAN card. Okay, that children's basically trying to spend money, but with card and getting more responsible over that. Yeah, that's main motive of the FamPay. Okay, they are developing a great business over that. Yeah,
Now
that
that
was pretty small piece around the business.
understood. Okay. Now I would like to invite the attendees to put forth their questions, if any.
Yeah, please.
Any questions, attendees out here? You can simply unmute yourself. Okay, we have a question in the chat box, Vinny.
Yeah, I'm saying. Mohit has asked that what should we search to get template like your FamPay PPT? Sure, I that's a normal Google template I have used and nothing else to add. You can use slides as in making templates and also move to slides.go for getting more good templates. Yeah.
Any scientific and technical based questions out here? Pratham, Shruti, Anthony, Nikhil. No questions?
I have one small thing to give about product development and how product managers think work. Okay. From what I have interacted from last 2 years, I am interacting with product managers, senior product managers, and getting to know around okay, what things are happening and what do they focus on while growing up in their business field. First thing that I have learned and even experiencing, user empathy is the most important thing to go while product development. Listening to the customer voice. Okay. Second thing, be open. Don't think yourself. Just listen them. Okay. Go deep into whatever you are trying to solve until you reach the depth. Okay. You feel like the third thing is staying curious every time. There would be chances where you feel like, no, this is boring. But stay curious. Try to find out new things. There are many laterals to that. And the last thing is hustle. Okay. If your product makes user happy, that would be the best day you will have. Yeah. Cool.
No, that's the point, Mr. Shah.
Hmm.
Okay. Moving forward, I too had a question over here, Vinny.
Yes.
As we all know, startups have a very small team, and obviously the founding team does everything, including product development, marketing, planning, marketing strategies, and everything. Is there any message you would like to give to startup founders who are there and watching us live or are in the meet, and obviously who would most definitely use the design thinking process for the product development?
Yeah. Stay in the hustle mode, nothing more. It's everything that you get curious about, and hence you started it. Okay. Stay in the hustle mode. Never ever think of quitting. That's all.
No, that's the point. Okay, so no further questions. Out here attendees. I guess we're quite clear with so many.
Cool.
And then
Thank
if
you
you
so
could
much.
just kindly follow.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Puneet, for the wonderful speech. I request to please share your mail in the chat box for any queries attendees might have. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Evangeline to share her perspectives on the topic.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. My name is Evangeline Ndukwe, and I'm a senior product manager with Nubia Mega Technology. It's a startup company, tech company here in Nigeria. And I also want to use this opportunity to really applaud all the former speakers. I've really followed all the speakers through from day one up until now. Everyone have really spoken very well. I really want to applaud everyone. So I'll be speaking on the topic emerging role of product development in startup ecosystem. I'll just quickly share my screen so that I'll carry everyone alongside. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me know when everyone can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Hello.
Yeah, Evangeline, your screen is clearly visible.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, speaking on emerging role of product development for market penetration in startup ecosystem, um, product development at its on this present day has played a significant role in market penetration for startups and its ecosystem. And also, research has shown that it is important for startup entrepreneurs to pay attention to value, user problems, and create solutions using technology that is targeted at user needs. All right. Most startup company just jump into um, someone, for instance, just wakes up and has an idea and they realize, okay, there is money booming in this area, and they want to just go on there and start making money without looking at what is the problem people are having that they need to solve, what solution are they bringing into the society, what value are they bringing into the society. And because of these single actions, research shows that most startup companies that start without understanding the processes involved in starting a company as an entrepreneur fail within 2 to 3 years after their product launch. All right. So startup entrepreneurs need to learn to understand that what they are bringing into the society, into the startup ecosystem is value. Because when you create value, definitely money follows through. But when the attention is on money, you definitely lose out on the value and you definitely fade out from the market because the people you are going to send the product to have problems. All right. So let's look at things to consider for startup market penetration. The first here is research on user problems. All the speakers have spoken on user problems and user research. Yes, indeed. Before you think of, if you think of, for instance, you want to start a food delivery application, what problem are people facing, ordering food? Are people having issue ordering food? Are people, you look at category of users, people who are civil servants, who are uniform personnel, people who are busy, what problems are they facing? And you can actually find out this problem through user research. User research, you can do user research from different angles. You can do from maybe research on what problem people are facing ordering product. What problem do people face? For instance, someone who works in the bank, who barely had little time, little or no time to take a break, for instance, how do they survive? So you need to also look into what problem people are really facing. All right. Before you think of, oh, okay, I need to come. Is it something I can do? Is it a problem I have a solution for? So when you found out the problems in the market that you are willing to solve, you're willing to bring solution. The next step is now research on solution, right? One of the ways that can help you research for solution, you can ask questions, you can consult people who have been there before. You can have a mentor, because I believe strictly that there is nothing new on earth, because whatever you are going to do today, someone has done it. So even if it's a whole new idea, there are experts who can help you in doing a lot of critical thinking and strategy planning. All right. You look at solution, you gather team, experts, professionals who measure in different angles, who can bring into the table. Like the former speaker mentioned, you should involve the engineering team. All right, bring in engineering team. All right, bring the data analyst team, bring the designing team, bring the AI team, bring all the necessary professionals that you need to profound that solution, and then you guys start talking about it. You start breaking it down. Okay, this is what we want to do. How do we go about it? How does it affect? And one other thing people miss out in bringing in solution is they miss out the user scenarios. All right. So as you are trying to profound solution, doing a lot of thinking, a lot of strategic thinking, planning, also look at user scenarios. If a user wants to do this, what would the outcome be? As a user, I want to do this. What would the outcome be? User stories will have to come in, because user stories have to do with user scenarios. By the time you bring down all these user scenarios, it will help you to even come up with designs. Then you look at the designs, you iterate the design. With this design we have, is this design user centric? What I mean by user centric is, does this design, with this design, does it have a simple UI that even someone who is not a tech savvy, can they understand the platform with this design? Someone who does not know how to handle a mobile phone or handle anything technology, would they see this application and is easy to go by? So in bringing in solutions, all right, in bringing in solutions, you have to consider a very good simple UI. By the time you're done doing all this planning, solutioning, the next thing you have to do is research on your competitors. Now you have a design, then you have to compare it. What are the competitors doing out there? Sometimes you find out that when you are doing competitor analysis research, you realize that there are loopholes. All right. Some, for instance, if you're working on a food delivery application, one of the best ways to research on your competitors is to go through maybe the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Look at reviews, what people are saying about their product, and not just focus on the negative aspect of their product. Also listen and pay attention to the positive angle, because it's also going to help you to know how to navigate around the target market. This is also another way you can also hear the problem people are facing. Someone use a certain delivery application, and there is low functionality, and delivery is delayed. Products are mixed up. All those problems. You point out all those things. Now you look at yourself with your team, and you'll be like, okay, these are the problems our competitors are facing. We have to be the solution to this problem. So finding out users' problem is not really that difficult if you would understand the process. So many entrepreneurs startup they don't study the process. They just jump, they don't count accordingly. And when you jump process, you always land in destruction. You end up pushing out a product that does not have a simple UI. Nobody wants to use it. It's not solving any user problems. All right. So these are the things you have to look into. So by the time you study your competitors, you now say, okay, what next? Which is stats, development, and cross-functional team. Okay, this is the product. We found out the solution. We found out the design that will suit the people. Right, the design that will suit the people. Now, what professionals, what careers are we going to be bringing on board to solve this problem, to produce this solution? Because the solution you are going to develop is now targeted to the exact user problem. Now you set out, okay, you need a development team, you need a product team, you need a design team, you need the analytics team. You bring up all this team and you start working in unison to make sure that this product is what is solving the user's problem. All right. The next thing you're going to be doing is understand market trend. In as much as you have researched, found out the user problem, you've mapped out the solution you feel would solve those problems targeted at a particular user angle or target market, you've researched your competitors, you found out all of these things. You also need to understand what is trending. If a particular, for instance, you build a mobile app and the trend then was each mobile app has a button navigation buttons, and recently what is already trending in the market is now a side menu, right? You need to also pay attention to that. Then you need to also pay attention when people are signing up. Those little details matter. Some entrepreneurs, what they do, what they focus on the money they are going to gain and forget these little details. And when you're building a software product without looking into these tiny details, it's always it doesn't always go well. The product, when you look at the product, you realize that a lot of details are mixed out and users will always have problem navigating your product. So whenever you're building any product, you have to have the user in mind. The user should always be in your mind, no matter how smart you think you are or your experience in your field. It doesn't matter if you're a professional, if you're a professor in your career. Whatever you know does not matter if that product does not solve users' problem. If that product does not have a good UI that is as easy as someone who is not tech savvy to use it, then whatever you know or whatever you've done, it's just a waste of time. All right. So you need to understand the market trend. What are people demanding right now in the market? Yes, you know the problem, but what are people demanding right now in the market? And it's very easy. You can run a research on the market trend through your sales representatives. You can run it through your business development analyst or different business development manager. These are the people that know, that interact with the customers out there in the market. They understand what is currently trending more than you, who is a product person, or more than you, who is a CEO, or more than you, who is the engineer of the product, because they have a more cordial relationship with the users. All right. The next thing you have to look into is your MVP focus. A lot of startup companies or entrepreneurs make this grave mistake, and that mistake is simply they have a huge idea, they have a wonderful idea, amazing ideas, and they want to bring out all those ideas at the same time. It doesn't always work that way. All right. When you want to bring out everything, you end up a product that it's supposed to take you 3 or 6 months to get out there in the market ends up taking up to a year, to go out there in the market. And user problem is according to phases. Yeah, user problems is according to phases. That a user have this problem. For instance, I'm a user as a product manager. I also see myself as a user because that's actually the best way to, represent, because I represent the users between the engineering team and the design team. All right. If I have a problem of getting, for instance, a user who finds it difficult to get mechanic, and each time I'm driving on a lonely road, my car spoils, I find it difficult to get to my destination. That was my problem as at then. And you found out that this is a problem. Okay, you need to build an application that will solve this problem, whereby when someone is stranded in a lonely environment, they could use your app and order for a mechanic engineer to come fix the car. This is the problem this user was facing, and you as an entrepreneur, you have this in mind. Then you start thinking, oh, okay, if I'm able to add mechanic engineers, I will also mechanical engineers, I will also add people who do painting, people who do this, people who do that. By the time you add all these features in the application, another entrepreneur who understand how important it is to prioritize will focus on that one single problem and profound solution and solve that problem. Now, see what happens by the time you go into the market, which is possibly almost a year. That solution you are bringing, it's no longer available. It's no longer needed in the market. Someone else or a group of other entrepreneurs have solved the problem. Now you will now struggle. Remember, we're talking about market penetration, right? Now it's going to make you to struggle to be able to penetrate the market because you've wasted a lot of time trying to develop a whole world in one application rather than focusing at each problem of the user at a time. I like using RISE framework prioritization. RISE framework prioritization. I use it because it will help you. First of all, you look at the reach. How many persons do you want to reach? That's the RISE framework. All right. How many persons do you want to reach? Okay, you calculate, okay, these are the users. You do your total available market, right? Total available market and all of those sums, sum and tam. You get, okay, these are the number of persons we want to reach. Okay, now the next thing you have to look at, okay, what resources, because it's another angle. Young entrepreneurs or startup companies fail. They just have all the whole ideas. They don't do proper research. They don't follow proper processes. They just jump into development. And in terms of development, they don't also consider the number of resources or the amount of resources that would be needed to get that product concluded. You see an entrepreneur building a software product that would need up to let's say 8 sets of engineers in different fields. Let's say if it's a massive product, you might need 2 front-end engineers, 2 back-end engineers, maybe 2 mobile teams. Have a QA personnel, have AI personnel if needed, have a DevOps person, right? You realize that these are and other professionals that you might need. But this particular entrepreneur will not understand these processes. The person will just pick out one engineer. And the annoying part is they won't even choose out one front end or one back end. They go ahead and just choose one full stack developer. You're choosing a one full stack developer.
Excuse me,
He's the
Evangeline.
only one.
If you could just wrap
Yeah,
it up in 2 minutes.
yeah, okay, it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's important to prioritize whenever you are building a product, right? It's important to prioritize, look at the first things, take the features to solve each problem one step at a time. All right. Then the next thing you will do is consistent update on the product. Consistently research on user problem. That your product is solving a particular user problem now does not mean there will no longer be another user problem coming up in the future. So you would need to consistently research on user problems and update your product to suit what is actually in the market. All right. So these are the things that startup entrepreneurs need to bear in mind whenever they want to penetrate the market using a software product. In conclusion, the role of product development for market penetration for startup ecosystem can be visible and measurable only when the focus is on value, problem solving, and necessity rather than just opportunities. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank Ms. Evangeline Dalke for a beautiful speech. And further, I would also like to request you, Evangeline, to just share your email in the chat box for any queries that attendees might have. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Ankush Yoram to commence his speech and share his insights.
So hello everyone. It's great session and productive session from all the speakers I'm listening out here. I just want to show my screen here. Give me a moment. So hope my screen is visible. Can anyone confirms me that my screen is visible to everyone?
Not yet.
Yes.
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 Okay. So first of all, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Ankush and I'm, in the Xeon Life Sciences taking care of business development. So Xeon is basically into the nutraceutical products and pharma products. So my basic examples will go around the nutraceutical products and everything. So my topic for today is the new product development and market penetrations. So we'll go by one and we'll wrap up the same in given time frame by the associates. So in this, our presentation will work on the new product development, the process involved, market penetration, product improvement, and challenges also, which has been occurred during this. So our first initial, what is a product? A product is an offer to marketers to certify the requirements. Like if we are go to the old the scenarios, there will be the no toothbrush is there. So if anyone gets the toothbrush and toothpaste, then it's a product, and we have a challenge. We have a gap in the market. Everyone have to be a clean tooth. So everyone go to the the new product development like toothbrushes now, and electric toothbrushes are there in the market. So this is the something we can go in the product development. So what's the category in the new product to the world? So new product to the world is something different from the market where the consumer is also not aware. Like we are popping pills of multivitamins. But now in the market, there are the multivitamin sublingual sprays, the strips, the gummies in the market. So it's totally new to the world presently, and acceptability of the product is going on. So after that, a new product line, like if I'm going with a toothbrushes and I have to add the toothpaste, like Sensodyne is initially launched their toothpaste, now they are into the toothbrushes also, now e-brushes also. So this is the product line extension, the addition of the product in that's the same. Then improvement in the existing product is always been important. Like if we go into the same example, like into the, we can say into the toothpaste, previously there was no salt, no charcoals, but now we can see that there is a added with salt, added with charcoal, so unique selling prices, USPs in each and every product, so everyone can go into that. Then it's a point, cost reduction can be done on the bulk basis. If we have a more requirement, then it's a cost reduction will be there in each and every product, and automation we can do. So repositioning our brand is also very important. Like Mama Earth in the market presently doing into the cosmetics. So HUL was the previously leaders in the that field, but Mama Earth comes with a new innovative packing and reposition their products. So that's why they grow their business accordingly. So now it's the process how we can develop a new product. It's a 8-step process in the form of RWWA analysis, which is really win worth. Means the product is real, can doable, and win means the maximum votes which we get, and worth is the commercialization valuable product. It's the important step. So the third step is with us is the concept. Concept is basically we have to launch a product in the market. So we have to build a concept and the story behind that. So the product image, the concept, like USPs, what the product has, the USPs. The unique selling proposition is the USPs we have to keep in the mind, and especially the attractive packing nowadays very play a very big roles. So the packing and the we have to finalize those things in these steps. The fourth step comes into the marketing strategy. The marketing strategy, we have to strategize everything to get a better launch in our market. So the target market is always be better. Like if I'm go for a selling a comms and my target market is the baldments, and so there will be no use of that. So if we go with a woman's target marketing in that area, that will be highly potential business. So value, profit, market study. So we have to analyze each and everything and the trend of the market, like what CAGR of that marketing concept is going on. CAGR is basically a compound annual growth rate of each and every category. So we have to do all these things into the marketing strategy. So then the fifth steps comes with us as a business analysis. Analysis in each and every step in each and every new product development is very important. Like we have to talk the value product, like value for money. If we are spending $100 of rupees, so the product must be worth of the 100 rupees. All the budgets and profit have to be managed in the. We have to analyze those into the this step, the business analysis. Then we comes to the product development. It is the in we can say one of the final steps. Like we go to the our internal or third party manufacturers towards the what concept we have finalized. We have done the business analysis, we have marketing strategy concept, everything is finalized. So now we have to check with the all the regulatory approvals, the legal checks for that product, we can go into the market or not. Like we have to generate a prototype samples and get a feedback of each and every person within the organization to improve the product and get a good prototype into the market, so we can hit the product and grab the market business as soon as possible, especially to the upcoming new projects and the startup and entrepreneurs in the market. So now the seventh step, we have a test marketing. Test marketing basically the one of the final step of the prototype which we have developed. We have to test it to the larger volumes. Like we have to go with the concept what we have done. Market testing the prototype samples. That product is acceptable to the market or it's a good fit, and it's finally we can do the launch, and the acceptability is the must. So each and every final step is the getting the commercialization or launch of the product. If we go get a green signal for each from each of the above steps, the seven steps, then we'll come to the our final step, that is the commercialization. Commercialization is the final steps in which we have to jump into the market with our new product. So new product is we have to be a proper planning on time, because each and everything has to be on time. If we launch umbrellas and we want to launch in the winter season, that's not a good time for to launch the umbrella into the market. We have to go to the like in the rainy season, so that time the demand of umbrella is very high. So we have to focus on that best time to launch. Then the product availability. The product should be available in the each and every market after the launch. If I have been launching a boost, a protein powder in the market, then if the product is not available, then the customer will jump into the another product. Like if boost is not available to the nearest store on the online stores, then we'll definitely go to the Horlicks. These are a few examples. So after COVID, the best platform for commercialization is the e-commerce, like Amazon, Flipkart. So we can go commercialization on those paths. So this is all about the product development process, new product, how to develop and how to commercialize all the things. So now we comes to the second step of the our second part of our presentation, that's market penetration. So market penetration is basically we have to
Excuse me,
grow our
Mukesh. I
market.
had a small request. If you could just wrap it up in 2 minutes, since we are running a
Sure,
bit
sure.
short of
I'll do that. Yeah, yeah,
time.
definitely I'll do that. It will be not more than 2 to 3 slides more. Okay, so we comes into the market penetration. We have to grow our market and sales by penetrating into the market by adding our benefits more. So it's very important for a startup to get into the market and penetrate very well. So new product will always help to do so. So importance of the market development, importance of the market penetration for a startup is always to have in the mind all the five steps like market research, identify the customer needs, competitor analysis, and customer feedbacks and data analysis, which you can go through these slides, and that would be very helpful for you. So now we have to go for the product improvement. There is always scope of improvement in each and everything. There is an importance of the marketing penetration to improve our product continuously on the basis of the time and their requirement. So entrepreneurs and startup, those are involved in this. So we have to expand with our research to get in something into the market, new something to the market. We have to identify the gap in the market, then we have to be solving that problems, that issues into the market, then we can grab the market and penetrate very well into the market. Then we have to educate the persons how to use that product, what's the importance of that product. The new product we are into getting into the market, it's a problem solving. We have to educate each and every person's the so by marketing our strategies and everything. So the step will be the continuous improvement. The improvement is always good, like adding benefits, like nowadays oils are getting fortified, like added with vitamin A, gamma oryzanol. So the normal oil is also now getting very beneficial with getting a fortification logos like F plus you must be getting into the market. Like in COVID, everyone is focusing to the immunity of the products. So the our final slides would be the challenges what comes to the market by launching a new products and everything. So lack of resource. If any organization not providing me the proper budget and the manpower, so there not be a use of that product. So the second step will be the competitive market. We always have to focus what's our competition, how we can go to that. Like HUL, the Hindustan Unilever has the, you can say that they are the masters in that cosmetic segment. But now Mama Earth, Wow, and Nykaa comes with the new product segment. So they just grab the market of HUL. So we have to be very competitive in the market. So changing of the customers always change their time to time and their requirement. Like nowadays we are focusing more over to the smartwatch, smart TV, smartphones, Alexa devices, the automate and easy things. So the customer needs always change, so we have to change our products according to that. Like previously there was cameras, now the digital camera comes. After that, nowadays digital camera is not also not in trend. Everyone have their camera in their cell phones. So the demand is always there. So when we comes to the fourth point is the technical challenges. Technical challenges, if product is not real, a concept, and it cannot be done, the like if we say the homes at the moon, so that's not presently not a good idea to have it, maybe in future. So it's a technical challenges. We have to unclear target audience. We have to always clear the target audience. Like I focus my target audience to the the parents without their child, and focus my newborn diapers. So there no use of that target audience. So I have to focus the new moms, new mothers who have use of those products. So the target audience is always there. So last point will be the lack of communication. It is the very most important point. We have to focus our communication in within the organization and out of the organization. What product we want to say, what things we want to say over the product. So that's all for my session, and we have a great things with her. Thank you. And any questions, you can just let me know. I'll definitely help to do so.
Thank you for an amazing speech, Mr. Ankush. I would like to request you to share your email in the chat box for any queries that attendees might have. Further, moving ahead, I would like to request Ms. Anjali Singh to kindly share the reviews link in the chat box too. Now, we would like to request you all, uh, like to share open feedback and obviously criticize whatever didn't feel was good in this conference so that we can obviously develop it and make it a much more interesting experience for you from the next time. The links in the box, you can just go through it and filter it. Yeah, that's great. Now, we would like to take a moment to extend our sincere thanks to all of the brilliant speakers who joined us today. A unique perspectives and insightful contributions have truly made this session an enriching experience for all involved stakeholders. And obviously, we all have got different perspectives. We learned a lot through these three sessions. And now we would also like to give a big shout out to our attendees. Your attentive participation and engagement have also been an invaluable part of this event, though I do agree that sitting through 1.5 hours regularly on a 3-day basis is quite tiresome, but we do appreciate your involvement from the depth of our heart. Now, I would like to request all the attendees to kindly vote for today's guest speaker by typing the name of a preferred guest speaker for the day in the chat box. And whoever is watching us on YouTube Live, you can obviously type it in the live stream comments section. Yeah, one name per person, no cheating. Please. Come on fast. We have got 40 attendees. I can at least expect 38 votes. That's great. Let the voting begins. 5 in. Come on. 40 minus 5 means we are 35 votes down. Everyone can give their contributions. Typing a name, obviously. That's great. Brilliant. We are 12. But faster, everyone. And yeah, do not forget to criticize us openly. And yeah, the certificate registration form for all the attendees shall be shared in the conference group soon by the HR team. Do fill it positively before 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. IST max. After that, it will be switched off on its own. And again, there's a long diplomatic process for getting your certificate. So I would request you all to fill it before 10 p.m. itself. That's great. And you can obviously criticize whatever didn't feel was good in this conference, and you can obviously appreciate too whatever you felt for the best part of this conference in our Google reviews. You can search for us on Google and even type a review there. You can visit the Google reviews via the link that Anjali has just shared in the chat box right now. That's great. We'd also like to inform you that the certificate of honor for all the guest speakers shall be mailed to them by the HR team by midnight today. We shall return next month for Conference 2.2 on the emerging trends in commercial laws for startups. Till then, stay tuned and keep dreaming. Have a great day, everyone.